because the stock market is crashing, should I sell everything out of my 401k? And guess what? If the end of the world is coming, number one, I'm wrong, and that's okay because I'm not perfect. But number two, your money doesn't mean crap anyway because the world's over. Like I said before, a lot of money is going to be lost, and some people are losing money already. The people who are smart, the people who are prepared economically, they're going to be making the money. People who are panicking, they're probably going to be a casualty, unfortunately. I've turned $100 into like $5,000. And people are like, yo, how did you do that? Without going into all the details on this video, this is number one way to get free money. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Economic Prepper here. Hope that you guys are doing very well. I wanted to respond to a number of emails and comments that I got from a video. And a lot of people have this question because I got a lot of emails from you, comments in the video, but probably more emails than comments, believe it or not. But a lot of people are kind of in this situation where they're living paycheck to paycheck. They're dealing with some form of a hardship, and they're concerned about the future. They're concerned about home affordability, food prices, gas prices, our economy, what the impacts of the Fed is going to have. Is the US dollar going to collapse? Are they going to have to file for bankruptcy? How are they going to keep food on the, in their refrigerator and feed their families? I think that as we move forward, there's going to be a lot of money lost, period and point blank. But at the same time, the good news is that for those who are smart, for those who are aware, and for those who have financial planning and financial strategies in place, and they're preparing economically, there's going to be a lot of money to be made. And the root of how economic cycles works, it remains the same. So just know that we've been here before. And you may not have been here in your lifetime, but this cycle that we're experiencing has happened before. So the question is, how do we make it through, and how do we make some money out of this thing? So the first thing we want to do is to survive. Like I said before, a lot of money is going to be lost, and some people are losing money already. However, a lot of money is going to be made, and the money being made are going to be, the people who are smart, the people who are prepared economically, they're going to be making the money. People who are panicking, they're probably going to be a casualty, unfortunately. And I look at it like, kind of like in science class, they said matter is neither created nor destroyed. And I look at money, currency, value, economic value the same way. So if matter is neither created nor destroyed, then that would apply to everything, right? So think about it like this. If you have a piece of paper, and I don't have a piece of paper, let's just say you got a piece of paper. So let me just, so you got a piece of paper, right? I don't know if you guys remember that show in Living Color. You had Fire Marshal Bill, and he'd pull out a match. He'd be like, let me show you something. And so I'm not going to light this paper on fire. But if I were to light this piece of paper on fire, what would happen? Now, yesterday, the message I got from the viewer was asking me, how do I sell out of my 401k? Is it now time to sell? Should I sell out of my 401k now? And I would always say it really depends on your own financial situation. I ended up explaining what I would do. I'm not him, but investing is like stockpiling, right? And it's kind of like, okay, if you know a storm is coming, then you would stockpile, right? You would stockpile food, supplies, water. You would stockpile fuel, possibly, whatever fuels your generator. If you didn't have a generator, you might consider purchasing a generator for the home. So these are things that you would do in anticipation to prepare for a storm. And now, if you live in a region like Florida, so Florida's got hurricanes all the time. This is no surprise to anybody, right? So if there's storms seasonally, then that would mean that there's like these cycles where you have wonderful spring and summertime. Everyone goes out there to vacation. And then from like, what is it, September till like December or something like that, you've got hurricane season. So you have these seasons where you can just come out and play and enjoy yourself, but then you know that winter's coming, or you know that hurricane season's coming. So what would you do? You would prepare. You would make sure that you have these things that you're going to need every single year, right? And so if you were preparing because you know these cycles are coming, you're not waiting until, September and a few days, once the news starts reporting that a massive Category 4 or Category 5 hurricane's coming, you're not looking to go buy supplies then because you know these cycles happen. You would be picking up supplies in like springtime when no one's thinking about it, right? When the demand is low, right? So while the demand is low, all of these items are more likely at their best prices, at their lowest prices. And so you're buying this generator, you're buying You're buying umbrellas in the middle of a sunny day because no one needs an umbrella on a sunny day. And so that's when the price will be the cheapest, right? And you're stockpiling water then. You're stockpiling generators and fuel then, right? And then you're saving it for later. Why? Because you know the economic cycle, you know that the seasonal cycle, the weather cycle will eventually leave you in a position where you're going to need these items later. So meanwhile, while everyone's scrambling, looking for these supplies, once the news is starting to report that, hey, we're going to have this massive Category 5 hurricane coming through, you're not as worried. You're not as worried. You may have even made plans to exit the state. You may have made plans to get to higher ground. Whatever your plans are, you were seasonally, preparing for this cycle that you knew was coming. Retirement is the same way. We know that we're going to get older. We know that there will be good times economically. There will be bad times economically. You will have booms and busts. And so at the end of the day, it's no surprise that human beings get older and human beings cannot continue to work. And so this is why you economically prepare. This is one of many reasons. Heck, you can't buy supplies without economic preparation so that you have the cash to be able to buy the supplies. So if we go into, we can talk about different types of investments. I mean, you got stocks, ETFs, index funds, real estate, physical assets. You got physical assets, not just real estate. And this is what a lot of people are not talking about. There are so many different assets that I've purchased over the years, digital assets, businesses. I've turned $100 into like $5,000. And people are like, yo, how did you do that? What did you invest in that allowed you to turn $100 into $5,000? Man, I've turned $1,000 into $100,000. But these are the things that people are not talking about. These are types of investments where you can place your money and you receive unbelievable rates of return, right? But a lot of people aren't talking about that. A lot of people aren't investing in, learning about these types of assets that can be invested in so that you can multiply your money at the rate that the wealthy do, at the rate that the 1% will do. And number one, they know what to invest in. They know how to invest. And when everyone else is selling, they're buying. And so anyway, I'm saying all this to say, I don't think that the end of the world is coming. And guess what? If the end of the world is coming, number one, I'm wrong, and that's okay because I'm not perfect. But number two, your money doesn't mean crap anyway because the world's over. So there's good news in almost all situations if you look for it. And I just wanted to kind of share a little bit of this with you guys. I don't want to bore you, but it's all about preparation. It's prepping. This is prepping at its finest.